لا وعك. لا بس الشيخ على الهواء. اوكي اوكي واسمعوني. يا الحمد لله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome all of you again with this lecture, with your lecture Fatawa on the air. Our first question tonight about the 10 days that we are about to receive in a couple of days. It was said that tomorrow is the complete of the Al-Qa'dah, so the Hajj will be start on Wednesday. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to return it back with good and blessing. Ameen. In the first question, what are the goodness that you worship that you could do in these 10 days or in this whole month? First of all, I want to remind you of the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him. He said, I was with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I mentioned to him the deeds, or it was mentioned to him, and he said, there is no days that the good deed is more beloved to Allah or more better than these 10 days. They said, oh Prophet, not even jihad in the sake of Allah. He said, not even jihad. Unless someone lives by himself and his soul and his money, and he will die. So these are great days that Allah will compensate what we have missed if we were slow after Ramadan. So these days came in, or they came these days, blessed, to enable us to take us forward on the straight path and to repent to Allah. There is no days that the good deed is more beloved to Allah than these 10 days of the Hajj. This is not even the jihad in the sake of Allah. I said not even jihad. Allah Subhanahu lives by himself and his money and did not come back with anything. And inshallah, in our masjid, we will be lectures every day like we did in Ramadan, inshallah, of explanation of the Quran and fatwas. And we will continue inshallah with patience and fast whomever is capable. It was said the sunnah of these days, and it is from the good deeds. And it goes into what the Prophet ﷺ saying that there is no deeds are better to Allah Azza wa Jalla than the 10 days of the Hajj. So whoever can fast at that day and to stay the night and to keep recite the glorifying of Allah and to recite the Quran, and it is beautiful if you can read enough every day to finish the Quran these 9 days or 10 days. It's not that hard. You could put a program every day to read 3 parts, and it's not that hard. And ask Allah Azza wa Jalla with the good deeds that Allah is able to do to gain and to achieve the best of what you are looking forward from this life and the hereafter. Oh, we believe fear Allah and take to Him the means, the explanation of wasila is the good deed. And also the Udhiyah, which is one of the recommended one. It's not from the obligatory. But it is from the Sunnah that is required and beloved. And whomever can do it at the day of Eid, after the prayers, Allah said, pray to your Lord and then Nahar. You don't do the Nahar, you don't do the slaughtering until after the prayers. Before that, it is meat that He provides for His people. The Udhiyah cannot be except from the animals. Some of the muftis, whether it is out of a joke or he is serious, they said you can take whatever you can, a rooster, a chicken. I hope that they are joking, because that's not, it cannot accept from Bahim, meaning live cattle like the goats, the lambs, the cows, and the camels. And it has to be at least 6 months for the lambs and 5 years for the camels. From the cows, 2 years. From the lamb 6 months, and from the goats 1 year. And by the way, how fat it is does not mean that it is old. It has to be old. So how fat is not what it is. He allowed one of his kids, he said it's allowed to you, but no one else beside you. And the best is to follow the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ, not to do nothing. Somebody said, I will put a charity for his money. It's more beneficial. It is beautiful, but it's not udhiyah. You give charity. It's good to have charity in those 10 days. You get the charity of the charity, but not the udhiyah. The other one you have to slaughter. So if you want the reward of it, then you have to do the nahar. And if you want, you could witness it yourself and to slaughter it in the place you are in. But there is an exception for every rule. And this trouble time, and the times that are troubled, you could send the money, the price for it, to your country outside, overseas, to whomever wanna buy it, not to take it as money, but who will buy with its value and he slaughter it in your behalf, and he will eat from it and give the needy, as if you have preferred on the needy from the relatives and the needy. It is sunnah and not required if these days come in, not to cut his hair or his to trim your nails. So you have until tomorrow, the whole day tomorrow, to do that. From Wednesday until Eid, you hope that it's not saying it's haram. It is sunnah not to do that. And ask Allah to accept. Amen.
صلاة العيد في زمن الكورونا هذا مسألة اجتماع الناس محظور أو شبه محظور. قاعدة يا عبد الله: فاتقوا الله ما استطعتم. فاتقوا الله ما استطعتم. نجري في صلاة العيد.
We do the Eid what we do in Jum'ah. We said the Jum'ah is established within the number that is allowed to meet that you live in. That's what we go by. We take in all the precautions for face masks, the social distancing, the all types of precautions that we always talk about, that we always have to take care of, so we could have the number that we wanted to get and to be very accurate in applying. If you imagine, for argument's sake, that there is some areas that are not allowed to do any congregation, or for those who cannot catch up with the Eid prayer. And we remember some of our brothers who came in, they came to the masjid, it was closed. And they are beloved people. But he could not come in because we have to close. We tell him, be happy that you have done your part. Inshallah, he had the reward. What was mentioned to us that Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, and when he was in prison, he will to a shop, and he'll go to the to the gate of the prison. But then we're going, he said, to pray Jum'ah. They said, no, you can't go back. So he said, oh Allah, I've done what I can. So we hope for those who try, because there's people who had excuse and they will get the same reward. But for whatever the reason, they could not go because of the number it's beyond or they're closed. It is okay that you perform the Eid inside the houses, individuals or in groups, and you don't need khutbah. By the way, the khutbah is not a part of the Eid prayers. It's not the same rules of a Jum'ah. The Jum'ah khutbah is one of the requirements, but the Eid no. Alayhi salatu wasalam, he will say, we are talking, whomever wants to stay, he can stay, and whomever wants to leave, he can leave. So that's not part of the Jum'ah that is required. So it is okay to pray the Eid in our houses. What about to listen to the Eid? Yeah, you can, but it's not part of the. You do it and you could listen to it just like you listen to any other program. So you could be at home, pray Eid, and listen to a Jum'ah khutbah from someone else. You could go and change one khutbah to another khatib, some other place, just like you're watching a program. But it's not part of Eid. No. As the lecturer, you could always listen to any lecture at any time, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, any place. So there's nothing wrong with the Eid prayers with your family if you can't with people. And you pray it. You make the 7 takbirah in addition to the first takbirah, and 5 in the second rak'ah. And all of this, it is allowed. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah, who made a lot of ease and made it easy for us in all our affairs. And may Allah, inshallah, make us pass this calamity of this pandemic, inshallah, and accept all our deeds. But someone said, if we pray in the car, inside the car. Why? Sitting down. So you are missing the standing up. And also to be able to make sujood. Maybe you can't even have the right qibla. Why? There is nothing that requires you to do that. After you say, we're gonna park the cars and we're gonna pray next to in the parking lot outside. It's okay if there is a need for that. In coordination with the administration, not as rebellions on the system of the administration. If it is with and consultation with the Muslims, if they found that it is okay, there's enough space, and in Eid, that you pray it outside, not in the masjid. But Eid is not in the masjid. So if this is with the consultation of the administration and it was managed, you leave your car and you stand next to it, you face in the Qibla, you make qiyam, ruku' and sujood. So it was arranged that way, in the correct way, where there is the social distancing and all the other issues, then it's okay. But just to do as rebellious against the masjid and the people at church, no, I say, we love your feelings, but you have to control your own emotions. To be in Jama'ah is mercy, and to be dispersed is a punishment. So we go back to had a boy born, may Allah bless him what he got, and you can see can he make udhiyah with a cow and make 2/7 of aqiqah and the rest udhiyah? And somebody wants to take 1/7. Want to take it for his family? It's okay. Yes, he wants to take 1/7 for his family. It's fine. If there's you give him 2/7 is equal to lambs. But if you ask me, what is the best? 1/7 of a cow or a lamb in the aqiqah? It is better to have the lamb. Why? Because there is blood for blood. So when you slaughter it, as if you are putting blood in behalf of the newborn. Why? That's why some of the Hanabila, 1/7 of the cow is not enough, because the qurban is not there. But the majority of the scholars, they said yes, it is allowed. Which one is better? No, if the better, who is better is 1/7 of a cow or a camel, no, or the lamb. No, the lamb is better. Second question. I pray water after Isha, then I sleep. I wake up before Fajr and I pray 2 rak'ahs. Can I do witr again? No. No, you don't. There's some scholars they said, but it is better that you don't do that. You pray as much as you can. So you don't have to make witr one more time, but be careful. But if you thought you're going to stand, if you're going to think that you're going to wake up at the end of the night, why don't you make it witr at the end? If you think you are tired, you don't think you're going to wake up, then do it in the beginning, right after Isha.
تجاوزت الأربعين.
Someone said I passed 40 and my parents, they always put that there is no excuse. This is a measure. This is doubtful. This is so what shall I do? Well, my sister, they are dead wrong, because the Prophet ﷺ said, whomever comes to you and you like his religion, then get him married. If not, there will be a big corruption on earth. The basic guidance is the guidance of Muhammad ﷺ. If you follow him, you will be guided. So let those who disobey him be afraid that they might get a calamity. My daughter, talk to your parents gently. Take a way to speak to them from the good people. May Allah, inshallah, ease their hearts on them. I don't want to tell you that one day you're going to pass this. Then you get to you reach that page. If you are in that age, maybe you go to call whomever you trust, so he will find a way, because there is the court, they will force them to accept to marry you if they listen to you, and he found that your rights are gone. Then yes, he will rule it. I don't want you to do that, and in part of the parents, but I want you to know that the Sharia has allowed you a way out, and Allah required your parents to marry you from those who are equal. Allah stopped them from doing the adl, meaning not to let them marry whenever there is a chance. Question: can I slaughter a lamb with the need of nusk and to slaughter the day of Nahr on behalf of my mother, father, best with it, even though my husband make udhiya on nas? Yes. You want to do another one? No problem. There's nothing wrong. If he made one capture, the Prophet ﷺ, he did too. So, alhamdulillah, it is good. And to give charity on behalf of your mother or your father, and you get closer to Allah with it, and make it toward to your parents. That's a great thing, and ask Allah to accept from you, and Allah to their grace, and make it in your great deeds as a bias to your parents. The question after that: if I doubted about Rak'ah 100, what do I need to do? What is the doubt that you're talking about? Are you Rak'ah first or second? Make it the first. If there's something random, but if there's something always have doubts, then make it the second and do it. If you have that doubts, the young going to the mixed clubs, we're talking about like sports clubs. Of course, the Islamic Center need to have special places for the needy, for the youth, of those who live here in the West. That it's something that we could find that this is what keep our youth away. So we have to find the sports facilities for them. So the role of the centers, they have to provide this kind of facilities.
الوقوع أو الخروج فيما يرضي الله عز وجل. لكن إذا لم يتيسر هذا فليتقي الله ما استطاع. تحين الأوقات التي يقيم فيها من اختلاط وغض البصر والتعفف والتصرف لأن الكراهة تزيد لا نستطيع أن نمنعها إلا إذا حصل مرة في ذلك يتجنب هذا النادي هذا المكان لكن تكتب في أن تحل الأوقات التي يقيم فيها وجود الجنس الآخر ومبكر جدا من وقت الصغيرة.
The Sheikh is talking about different types of doubts. So reduce the words as much as you can. One of our brothers asking, do you have to pay zakah on the apartment or is the rent? Someone is renting an apartment. How do he pay the zakah? Is it the value of it or just the rent? The answer, the zakah of on the income, not on the principal. Someone have different cars in the garage. He rent them. We don't tell him see the value of the cars and make the zakah. No. How much income you got out of it? You add that to what you have of money and make the zakah on it. And he added to different money that he have. Another question, since we're talking about Corona, we live in it. The woman says, my wife, or he got Corona and he have the Corona, but he was. And she said, my husband is very hesitant. He don't take precautions. And I'm afraid that we're gonna catch it again. Can I sleep away from him? So I'm afraid of this disease. I don't want to sleep with him until he take all the precautions of wearing mask and social distancing and all this hand sanitization and all this. Obviously, we have mentioned several times that when there's a pandemic, you have to take the reasons to protect yourself. And whomever exposed, like the doctors who mix with the patients, they might catch the virus and they're not even aware of it. Maybe Allah, knowing what He have concern about, benefit others. Allah give him the healing. If you're taken one time and your wife was taken with you, why don't you be careful so you don't get it again? We say originally that the woman should not stay away from her husband's bed without a good reason. If she didn't, she have sinned. But a man cannot force her into intercourse whenever there is some projection. Let's suppose she is sick. Like if she's pregnant, she's always throwing up, someone, they cannot smell her husband. So if he comes in, he wants to have his right, but she cannot take it. You get her pregnant and you don't wait until she finished this passing period. So if there is harm to the wife, then the husband should not assist when there is harm that happens. And it's worse whenever he said that Allah will make the cussing. Well, maybe they will cuss you because you didn't understand what the Prophet ﷺ is saying. There is no harm or bringing any darar. Because the one who said that first hadith also said there's no harm that you bring or take from people. So the intercourse is going to cause a problem, physical harm, then he should not insist of having sexual intercourse with his pregnant wife. We're not saying with the Western culture they say where there's a wife raping, if a husband forces wife with that, this is a rape. We don't have that kind from religion. Fear Allah Azza wa Jal. If your wife is going to be harmed with the intercourse, especially if it is from you, because you are mixed with people, easy to get. You have this before and you brought it to your own wife and your son. So fear Allah and be careful. So I hope what you have learned in all the medicine you apply to yourself and to your family. And be patient, daughter of Allah, and order what is good. And don't make this an excuse to go after each other. Someone's asking, one of the merchants, he says, I'm a gold merchant. There is an institution in England. They take care of the gold and tell me to sell it or buy it with a commission. How? They make accounts and the people put money in that accounts. And then the agent who will buy the gold, and when there is an agreement, they will write it down in the company instantly, and they will change the money from the buyer to the seller and make the gold to the seller. Can this work or no? We asked before that. One of the big Islamic economists, he said no, it doesn't work that way. He said because there is no catching. What does that mean? Gold and silver and currency from the riba money. 6 gold, silver, barley, and so on. If you sell gold with gold, hand in hand. If you have to catch gold with euro, different. So if there is no holding, then it does not allow, because you're buying this gold with money, but you have to catch, you have to have the ownership. But I'll look at it in a different angle. If there is a merchant for gold, and I said to him, I take you to buy me gold and sell it to me if the price is higher. You have to have hand by hand.
جيدة بيع الذهب بالمال وخذ المال فورا وضعه في الحسين. لو كان حسين
If it happened that way, then the catching is there. The question is he talking to me on the phone. There's some in California, he sells gold. He said, I want to buy for my son some gold from California. The problem, the seller in California and the buyer in Houston, he could transfer the money immediately. But the gold, he cannot send it immediately. At least 2 or 3 days. So how? He said, you have, he said, let him take it out of his hand. And then he's the one who sent it to you. فأمت بعد I'll say, oh Sheikh Saleh, go to so and so, buy it to us and take from him and take it back to me. It's okay. Then each one hold his part. So it goes that way. And the other guy, then that's the collect. Now the gold, it's with my agent. He sent it to me today, tomorrow, and a week, a year. That's a different issue. So if it happened before, the reason we got this example, we want to make it closer to you. If there is a gold merchant, and I say I want to, but I'm a Muslim. We have to have the holding. You say, you are my agent. My money is with you. Buy and sell to me. Then you have to have take commission for your work. It's fine. I'm a Muslim that I have the rule that control me. If they are different, so anyway, as long as it is held by hand. We can't take inshallah after the praise. We will take inshallah for any discussion inshallah. I'd love to receive from you and to comment on it inshallah ta'ala. Someone asked, grandmother, she had one daughter, divorced. Someone had one daughter and she had a granddaughter from the same granddaughter. And she had 2 apartments. She could live in one. And she wanted to give that rental apartment to her granddaughter. Can you make that gift with that condition? First of all, I want you to distinguish between the given and the will. If this one died, how her inheritance will be? The granddaughter has nothing. Why? Because the daughter prevent the granddaughter. So if very closer to the deceased, then he get the most. And then the grandmother cannot, it's not an inheritance, then she can make it in the will. One condition that within the third of what she had, unless the rest allowed it. But the condition here, we are amount a gift. She's giving it right now in her life. She can't do that. But the condition in giving, that has to be held by hand. Abu Bakr, that she gave him, yes, 20 wasqa. Then he said, my daughter, I gave you this. If you took it, then it will be yours. But now it's not. If she took it, it is her jewelry. But she didn't take it. It's close to death. Then you cannot get the gift. It became inheritance. A lot of people don't pay attention to that. The gift, it stopped with no having possession. My personal opinion is sometimes we cannot have the complete holding, the replacement, the writing, documentation that you cannot go back. That will take that this is equal to holding. So I hope this will take it. There is no burden with the condition that the rent for you for the rest of your life. The Prophet he bought a goat for Jabir and he conditioned. He said, I will give it to you once I reach Medina. So you could sell with the exception of holding the benefit. You say, oh Sheikh Hassan, I'm going to sell you this car, but I want to wear it for a month. There is nothing wrong with that. But here we're talking about perfection. The last one, we're going to conclude. And we always say the last. Is there a burden on the husband to watch his, if they're watching cartoons and there is like music in it? The cartoon are not all the same. There's some that even very bad. They destroyed a lot of generation. So cartoons are not the same. So don't make a general like that without specification. It has different types. There is no killing or something that's going to kill people, then there's nothing wrong with that. So if this music should be within the interest in a different place. There's a difference between hearing and listening. Like you're asking, someone is enjoying music. It is more important than what they see. The tone is more important for some people than the wording. This is not accepted, but it will be just like documentation you find in every other channel. Even documentation, there is music. It's not the the urge is not to listen to the mix, it's to use it. That's all it accepts, inshallah. We'll continue, inshallah, on Wednesday.